showtime. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Silent and profiling. Woo, woo, it's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP from the 313. And by my side is my man, my toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. What's going on, brother?
Preseason's over. And, you know, we're 10 days away.
Finally, man. I cannot believe this day has arrived. Well, it's not arrived, but pretty much. It's 1 week. One freaking week, right?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. That's all I could say. I this is the longest summer for me. Was it like waiting for football to return?
It was. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was fun because we get to do this and talk about it all the time, and we got to do some cool different things during the off season. But like from the time the draft ended to today has been the longest, slowest moving time ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. It's I don't know what it was, man. Like last summer went by quicker for me. Like I don't know why. Like 2020, you know what I mean? The end of this season of 2020, 2021 seemed like it was like right away. Even with the whole, you know, after the COVID thing, like I don't know, it just seemed like it happened so quick.
This was my first off season doing this because, you know, I picked up and started doing this with you in preseason last year. Yeah, so we hit a year, Tommy, together.
Yes.
So
and speaking of that, I want to thank everybody who is watching now or going to watch later. Me and Mikey, Mafia Sports Report, hit 2,000 subscribers. That was our goal. And our goal was to hit 2,000 before the season started, the new season. And let me tell you guys, you understand, we were quite a bit away from that. I think we were like 300 and something short. And we really, because of you guys, went on this really awesome run of getting new subscribers. And thank you very much. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in and just enjoying, you know, us and the other guys that are on my channel, the other content providers, Jason Malloy and the Dr. Love and Sauce Bronson, you know, the Rally Tower guys. So I do appreciate you guys for tuning in for, you know, not just us, but them as well. So yeah, thank you, Chewy. I appreciate you. So I'm going to dive into some NFL news real quick before we, you know, get on to just Buffalo Bills talk. So Jimmy G, you know, what I read today, he is staying in San Francisco.
Yeah, they redid his deal. He restructured 6.1, but inside there they can't. He has a no trade clause and a no tag clause. So at the end of the year, he gets to choose where he goes. So
and that's your neck of the woods. So what are they talking about in San Francisco?
So he hasn't been practicing with the team. So he comes in every morning and does his work on in separate fields. So he really hasn't been with the team all training camp and preseason because they didn't think they were going to keep him around, and it was now Trey Lance's team. My brother's a diehard Niners fan, by the way, and he's super stoked because he took a pay cut from $24 million to $6 million.
Oof.
To stay with the team.
Wow. Wonder why. Because he could have probably got broke off somewhere a little bit better, right? Than 6. Well, I know for a fact. I mean, backups are getting more than 6.
You know, he likes the team. You know, let's be honest. The way Trey Lance plays, there's a good chance he'll be playing this year.
Is he kind of hoping that? Is he kind of hoping in the back of his mind, they're like, okay, you know what? I'll just chill. I'll get the 6. And let's just see how great your boy Trey's going to do. And when he sinks, now you're going to really pay me. You think like that's what's going on in the back of his mind kind of by doing this?
Possibly. Okay. Possibly. I don't know. I don't think Trey Lance is going to stink. By the way, I think Trey Lance is going to be fine. He's gonna be growing over the next couple of years. It's Trey's team. They mortgage the future for this kid.
Okay.
But ultimately, I think this is Jimmy G's way of doing one last year with them. If he gets hurt, he's their backup plan because he led them to the AFC champ or the NFC Championship game last year.
Right. I know. I know.
So they have a really good team.
Close game too. It wasn't like they got blew out or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be interesting moving forward to see how Trey does and see if the fans want Jimmy G back. If things aren't going so well, you know how fans can turn very quickly.
What? No.
Oh yeah.
Fans turn.
Yeah. Sony Michel, ex-Patriots running back, Dolphins running back, got released. I don't know if that's such a huge surprise, but he was released today. Also, I don't know if you heard about this, but Robinson, the running back for Washington, got
Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah.
The Alabama kid, the rookie out of Alabama. He got shot. He was robbed and got shot twice.
Crazy, right? I think he wrestled the gun away. He should have just but it is what I don't know what I would have done in that situation too. I got to admit, but the smart thing would probably just give up what you got. And
the crazy part is he unseated Gibson there. He was going to be their starting back because Gibson's now their kick returner as well.
Right.
So, now he's going to be out half the season recovering from surgery.
Also Brett Kern, which we're going to get into later on the punting situation. He got released today. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, an All-Pro. He's actually from Buffalo. He got released, which, he is 37, and they do got a young guy there that's supposedly kicking very well.
Stonehouse.
So it's kind of understanding, but punters can last in this league to that age. I don't think it's like such a big deal his age. So we'll see. We're going to get to the punting later. The guys that are out there, me and Mikey will kind of talk about that. Next, I want to get to the Buffalo Bills. They cut some players today. Mikey, you got that list for me? Who they cut, or I could pull it up?
No, I don't have the list.
All right, so I'll pull it up right now. It's pretty much not anybody that's
Josh Thomas, Cap, the offensive line, Kapka.
I don't know why.
Those are the two that popped up.
I know the receiver got cut. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. So offensive lineman Jacob Capra. I'm sorry. Capra got cut. Offensive line Tanner Owen, which by the way, we were talking about how awful he was. In that Friday night game, he got cut. Wide receiver Neil Payal got cut. Payal. Defensive end Daniel Joseph got cut. Defensive back Jordan Miller and defensive back Josh Thomas all got cut. So I don't think there's any big surprises there. Tomorrow is the deadline. I believe it's at 4 p.m. So every team in the NFL has to have their roster down to 53. What will be interesting, and we're going to get to the roster projection in a little bit, will be who's on IR, who's on PUP list, stuff like that. I'm sure Bills Mafia is wanting to know about Trey White, right? That's probably the biggest, right? What are they going to do? Because if he's not on either, it's a good sign. Very good sign that he's going to be available either week 1, week 2, somewhere around that time range, right? Week 1, week 2, maybe even week 3. And then, of course, they already put, I think, Bakker, correct, on, if I'm not mistaken, on.
Yep, he's on the PUP. Yep.
Okay, so, and also, now Marquette Stevenson isn't yet, but many are saying he probably will go on IR, but he could get cut.
If he goes on IR, that means they're going to keep him on the 53 and then stash him on the IR for however long he needs, and then make a decision once it comes back. I don't see his path to playing time at all here, so I don't know why they would keep him on the IR. I think they'd be better off either IRing before putting him on the 53 to end his season, or cutting him and then trying to get him back on the practice squad.
Right. Yeah. Chewy coming in. Bobby Hart's still alive. He's still alive, but there's also a lot of other guys. So is Luke Tenuta. I mean,
I'll
I'm just
tell
saying
you,
there's a,
Tommy,
there's a lot of guys.
It's
Huh.
not as many guys as you think that's
You're
available.
right. I agree, but it doesn't. Man, he could, but I could also see him being cut. I mean, it's not like a deadlock. Bobby Hart,
to be perfectly honest, it comes down to
a terrible
Hart
Friday game
or Van Rotten. By trading Cody Ford, it left a giant hole.
Yeah,
deep.
well, I don't know. I'll take Van Rotten. I don't trust Bobby Hart. I'm sorry. You
Van
saw
Rotten's
what he did Friday.
Guard only.
Friday was terrible.
Hart can play 4. That's why I think they're going to keep Hart.
I get it, but he's so bad. I know you like him. But
no, I don't like him.
Bad. He's so
I know you guys like to give me crap about liking him, but
so
I just think he's going to make the team.
It's possible. It is. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, offensive linemen are tough, and the fact that he's been cut before and re-signed again, and then cut and re-signed and back again in the offseason. So clearly, there's something they like in him. Clearly, there's something. Maybe, like you said, he could play 4 spot. I don't. We'll see. We'll see on the Bobby Hart. I still think he gets cut, but I could be wrong. I do want to get into the NFL top 100. Josh Allen, number 13. I stopped watching after that, by the way. I didn't even care. I looked in the morning who was number 1. Tom Brady, really. But yeah, 13. Do you think, Mike, I got to ask you, because it's kind of ironic, 13. Are they trolling us? Did the NFL purposely do that? Because come on, man. Like, what it is that, like, really? What do you think there? I mean, what is the coincidence he lands on 13?
I truly think it's just the stars lining up and giving us giant chips on our shoulder, and we're just going to wreck shop this year and bring home the hardware at the end of the year.
How did he drop
keep
3
doubting
spots?
Keep
how did he drop?
Right?
How did he drop? I'm just saying, how did he drop?
I mean, Patrick Mahomes dropped 7 spots. He went from 1 to 8.
Still, though, I mean, he's still in the top 10. You couldn't get Josh Allen in the top 10 again? I mean, serious. He's favored to win the MVP, and he's out of the top 10.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Like, listen,
Tom Brady's the best player in football today.
Right? Come on, man.
Sure.
Is that because this is last year and you're just fucking kissing his ass? I think that's, bro. If you're gonna give it to anyone, I would have been cool with Aaron Donald. Fine. You know what? Okay, he's an unbelievable beast. You know what I mean? Fine. Yeah, I'll deal with that. But Tom Brady, come on, bro. Like, whatever, man. But anyways, moving on. So I want to say this, and we're not going to talk about the Matt Ariza thing. That's not what I'm bringing this up for. But I will say the players today handled it very good, because today was the first day, I believe, that reporters got to ask questions to the players. And I thought that the ones that I heard, Deion Dawkins and Mitch Morse, handled it very well. They're pretty much brutally honest. I got to be, I'm sure they didn't say some stuff that, that they can't, but for the most part, they handled the press very well today, especially Deion Dawkins and Mitch Morse, like I said. So did you see those interviews, or no, you haven't?
I haven't. I went from work to here.
Okay. Check them out, Mike, either on Mafia Sports Report.
Imagine that.
So, anyways, they are on the channel, Mikey. Check them out later. They're they handled it well. 13 is fair, lower than 2020. Nah, see, I don't think it's fair. I'm sorry. So 2021, he was 10. So, like, worst case scenario, you put him back at 10. You put him at right. He got worse. Why? So
Cooper Kupp jumped like 60 spots to top 5.
He was the best. Let me tell you something, guys. He was the best quarterback in the playoffs without a doubt. Without that 13 seconds, and I hate to go back to that. Come on, everybody, including the national media, all said the Buffalo Bills probably would have went to the Super Bowl and probably would have won. Now, that's woulda, coulda, who knows, right? But most people agree with that. And most people agree that Josh Allen was the most dynamic quarterback in the playoffs. I forget what he had, like what, 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions?
9-0 in 2 games.
Right. Exactly. Okay. 9-0. Quarterback rating was off the charts. Right. I mean, what? Come on.
He's unstoppable.
Right. So to drop the man 3 spots made no sense. So no, I don't agree with that. If you're gonna just keep him at 10, if you don't want to give him any more, love, but whatever. Listen, all that is just a show. At the end of the day, that's what it's about, and that's
what it is. It stacks the chips on their shoulders,
just like Madden ratings.
Diggs dropped from 11 to 27 or something like that. So it's like Madden ratings. You're right. It's a lot like Madden ratings.
At the end of the day, yeah. It gets people something to talk about, right?
It gets the fans fired up.
Yeah, and some players too. Some players take it personal, and that's cool. So speaking of punters, we know we need one. We know we need
Beth,
one.
I'm with you.
Yeah, what did Beth here? I'll pop it up on the screen there. Yeah, my thoughts too. I saw 30 thoughts of myself. Who's sick joke? Yeah, bro, that was the first thing that came to mind. I even tweeted Mikey or text him, and then I even tweeted like, "Come on, what's the chances?" But anyways, back on the punters. So we know we need one, Mikey.
Yeah.
We had already, I think 4 work out, a bunch of nobodies really. And the name that you were throwing at me yesterday was Brett Kern. I remember hearing you text me. He officially got released today. So we'll start with Brett Kern. Mikey, your thoughts on him and potentially signing with the Buffalo Bills?
Well, first let's start with that. He's a local group guy. I can't call him a kid. I mean, I guess I could. He's still younger than me at 36. But he's 3-time Pro Bowler. Has been an All Pro. The dude's about as professional punter as they come. Fantastic holder. Does everything we want him to do. Ideally, he would be the guy that we bring in. You have to remember, we only really need him for this year, and then we can figure out what we're going to do after this year. He's 36. Right. Most of these guys can really punt into their 40s if they truly want to.
Correct.
Let him come home and get a ring with his hometown team. I would love that. The guy is a stud, and he punts in bad weather because he plays in that division, so he punts in Pittsburgh and everywhere. So we don't have to worry about that. And he's about as solid as they come. I think his career average is like 40 something.
43 point something, I think.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah. And his hang time averages like 4.2, 4.3 career.
Yeah.
Which is
where you
want
to.
Which is plenty and good enough with our gunners with Jones 100%. And Neal. So I would say him. The Broncos released their punter from last year. Yeah, Sam Martin. Sam Martin was a really good one. He spent a lot of years in Detroit and then went to Denver for the last few years. He's a good. I mean, there's a lot of really good punters out there.
I tell you who I don't want. I don't want the Dolphins punter who got released, who can't hold.
Yeah,
apparently because their kicker, who's an excellent kicker, was one of the worst last year.
Yeah, he went from being the best kicker in the league and getting a massive extension to one of the worst in the league.
Right.
And that's
Come on,
but
man.
He won't be coming in. The number one job of our punter is to hold.
Yeah,
we kick twice as many field goals and extra points than we do punts in a year.
Right. There is an interesting name out there. He hasn't played since 2018. Marquette King, who's still in game shape. The Buffalo Bills, by the way, did reach out to him to see if he's in game shape. They didn't work him out, guys, so don't get it twisted. But they did contact him, which means maybe there is some type of interest. And why not bring him in just to see, if he could still kick and hold? And
wasn't his problem. Talent was never his problem.
Talent wasn't what his problem. He was a little bit of a diva. We know that. He got some personal. He was a little shout out for a punter. Got some personal, penalties or whatever. But I don't listen.
From what I've read, it was locker room things, and that's why he never got the chance.
So there was a little
He's
locker
pretty
room
outspoken.
Beef. There was a little locker room beef, really, with Michael Crabtree and Aqib Talib over some necklace thing, and he was basically hanging out with Talib, and the Raiders didn't like that. The players, right? Like, why are you hanging out with the enemy? They just got into a fight, blah blah blah. So that's really what the gist.
I mean, but think about it, Tommy. He's been out of the league for
2018,
4 years,
long time.
Like, there's something else there. If no other team even gave him a shot.
Possibly, but how much could it be if Buffalo still reached out? So it couldn't be that bad.
They didn't bring him
we'll
in,
see.
though.
We'll see. I still think if if I'm sitting in Brandon Bean's office, my number one guy is going to be Kern.
Absolutely.
Like I would assume they called him right away. Right, he's active.
Well,
he's been active.
Technically, hasn't been released yet. He's just been notified he's gonna be released.
Yeah, well, he's going to be. Yeah. Either way, he's going to call his agent any minute, right? As soon as it's official.
Pim, I'm with you, buddy. Pim, I'm with you. He said, I don't want a punter who's going to be talked about. No, I just want a punter who's going to blend into the background, do his job.
I just want a guy coming and do exactly what Mikey said. But I don't want like some guy who's going to kick a 35-yard kick either. You know what I mean? Like hold good, kick at least, give me 42. Give me something. That was the only problem with Hawk. He could not kick in poor weather, especially poor weather. So that's where we stand on our punter situation. There was some rumors today, Mikey, on a couple players actually.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Moss being one of them. Ryan Talbot said that he is potential trade bait, that he is hearing that. But then it came out later on in the day that no, the Buffalo Bills don't want to trade Zach Moss. So there's kind of conflicting reports there. Ryan Talbot says he heard one. Yeah, so I agree with you. I don't know, because then you lose your power back. You lose your,
Well, it's not even that, because let's look at where the running back room is.
And the rookie
we have a rookie in James Cook. We have Devin Singletary, who's in his last year, and then we have Zach Moss, who has one more year on his contract. Well, what happens if Singletary just has the monster year that we're kind of expecting him to have, and someone goes out and signs him because he's going to want more money than what we can afford? Are we going to want a second year back in James Cook and another rookie, or do you want someone who's been in here for a while?
Right. No.
Chewy, I'm with you on that. I told Tommy when he texted me all this, I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it come across my screen that he's been traded. Outside of that,
listen,
it's that time of year.
But I got to report it. I mean, I got to tell you. I mean, it's not like it's Joe Schmo reporting it. Ryan Talbot. He does. He's a credentialed reporter. He's credentialed. So if I'm going to listen, there's so many fake Twitter accounts. You got to be really careful, guys. Because somebody might break something, it's like a fake, Adam Schefter account. So just watch.
I haven't seen a fake Talbot account yet.
Right?
Who knows? Yeah. He's getting big enough. Maybe Talbot soon will have a fake one out there.
Right. The real Ryan Talbot at Twitter.com. Right. But I don't see it happening. I mean, I do agree with you. I did think maybe in the beginning. I told you before training camp started. Depending on how his camp went. But he had such a good camp. He had such a good preseason.
He looked healthy. He looked.
I just don't see them moving. Why? For what? For who? It wouldn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't. I feel like then at that point you're putting the team a little back there, right? You're kind of going away from there.
I mean,
now what if Singletary gets hurt? Let's say hypothetically. Now you're down to just James Cook and what? That's it. You know what I mean?
James Cook,
if you Cook,
Duke Williams or Blackshear, but really,
yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't think that's going to happen. And the other guy is Crowder, which is a possibility.
Howard is one of them too.
Oh, OJ Howard, true.
Yeah.
Yes, I did hear. I also heard about cutting, but you would lose money. I wouldn't cut.
We don't lose money. It's just it's basically like him being on the roster.
Yeah,
the money's already paid out.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, I still think he actually blocked very well.
Yeah, he's good enough blocker to keep him on the roster.
Yeah, he did that. He actually had a really good preseason blocking. He didn't show much on offense, but he blocked well. But Crowder's interesting. It is, because McKenzie's that's his role. I don't think he's giving that up, bro.
No, I'll tell you. Diggs, Davis, McKenzie, Shakir are the four that are locks.
Right.
Crowder, Hodgins, Kumaro are the three that are battling for two spots.
Yeah.
I can see them moving off of Crowder and keeping Hodgins and Kumaro.
Right.
Kumaro for special teams. Hodgins showed everything we thought we saw from him in his rookie year before he got hurt. He looked really good this preseason.
And there's a teams out there that need receivers. I mean, Baltimore needs a receiver. You telling me Baltimore want to give something up for Crowder? They need some speed. They need a receiver. I'm just saying, I wouldn't hate that. I'll be honest with you. I love the
Green
initial.
Bay. Green Bay needs receivers.
Green Bay. Yeah,
Chicago needs receivers. Like there's a lot of teams that needs receivers.
I love the initial pickup, Mikey. I won't lie. Like I thought that was a steal of the free agency for us, but he hasn't done much, and McKenzie's took such a large
haven't
step.
seen much of him either this preseason.
No, but that's because maybe he was hurt a little bit, and McKenzie was shining so much.
But,
it was
I mean, in the
for him to get on
preseason
with ones.
games.
I know.
Like the ones didn't play. I didn't see much of McKenzie because he was with the ones. Like even in the preseason games, he didn't play a ton.
Yeah. I could see him getting moved. Like I said, if there's going to be a guy who gets traded,
I can see him.
I would think it would be him over those three guys that we just mentioned. Those two. Oh, Chewy's always coming through with the super chat. Go ahead, Mike. I'll let you.
Who should be the starting receivers next week? Congrats on 2K subs.
Thank
Who's going to be our starting receivers? We're going to have three man starters, and it's going to be Diggs, Davis, and McKenzie are going to be the first three out.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I totally agree with Mikey on that one. So Mikey, it's your turn, brother.
Yeah.
This is your segment, and it is the 53-man projection.
So we'll go. I went through and did a 53-man cut down based off of what I would like to see. Let me make this a little bit bigger so people can see it. Is that better?
If you guys got like a 5-inch phone or something,
hopefully that's better.
If you guys got a flip phone, you're done.
Does Reggie Gilliam keep Quentin Morris off the roster because they're so similar? Y Towns, we're gonna go into that right now, but no, I actually have Morris making the roster. And I'll go into this.
He had a
fantastic camp and a really off season. Really off season.
He was looking sharp last season. He was.
Remember, he's a converted wide receiver, so he's still learning the tight end position. He's getting better and better, and his blocking he always was a really good receiver standpoint because he's converted, but his blocking just looked so good this preseason.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with quarterbacks. I have two. I have Allen and Casey Keenum. I have Barkley being cut. Chances are Barkley's going to go to the practice squad. He's going to be the third quarterback in the room. Morris, Chewy comes in and says Morris got injured.
He did.
Morris recently, but he was okay. It wasn't a long-term thing. He got up. He went to the locker room. They said he's going to be okay. It's not a long-term thing.
Yeah.
For the running backs, I have Singletary, Cook, Moss, Gilliam, and Tywan Jones. I have us releasing Duke Johnson and Blackshear. I have a feeling one or both of them could come back to the practice squad if they're not picked up as well.
Yeah.
For the receivers, I have Diggs, Davis, McKenzie, Shakir, Crowder, and Hodgins. This is what I would like. If they move Crowder, I could see be Hodgins and Kumaro. Kumaro is a four core, it's a core special teamers, 14 plays all 4 teams. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I can see why they would want to keep him. But I have a feeling that they saw enough out of Hodgins this preseason that they're not going to want to let him walk out the door, because if he gets released, I guarantee you he's going to be starting for the Giants this year.
Yeah.
Because they just lost another receiver too, and they know him. He knows the system there. They could pick him up, and he had a great preseason. He's not coming back to the practice squad.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't make it.
The guys that I have us cutting are Kumaro, Gentry, Pau, who was released today, and then Stevenson. We have another super chat.
Yep. Palmer super chat for Hodgins.
Yes, he supports that one, and I hope. We'll go into the tight ends now. I have Knox, Howard, and Morris. We talked a little bit about Howard a few minutes ago, Tommy, and how good his blocking is. We can use him as a blocker. You know what I mean? Morris is that other receiver threat. So if something happened to Knox, we're not just stuck with no tight end who can't receive. We can use Howard and Morris together to basically make up for Knox.
Yeah.
I went back and forth between Morris and Sweeney trying to figure out who they would keep. I saw more out of Morris than I did Sweeney this preseason.
100%. I
like all the way around.
It sucks because
I liked Tommy Sweeney. I really did.
Do. I get stuck in this I like the guy situation. I like that person's personality, and he fits with the team, and Like he does. Like Tommy Sweeney's, I swear to you, Tommy Sweeney and Dawson Knox are so similar in like kind of personality. Like they're fun guys. They have good chemistry with Josh as far as like getting along with everybody. But the problem with Sweeney, man, he just isn't athletic enough, man. He just doesn't do it on the field. And his number's been called. He's had chances. This isn't like, oh, Tommy Sweeney's never had a chance. He has.
Yeah.
And he just
hasn't been able to step up to the occasion to where Morris got some chances. Like he ran with the ones and he looked good. Like he's capitalized on his opportunities.
100%. And once again, I'll go back to Howard. I said it from the beginning. I think he will catch on. I believe that. I believe he'll catch on with the offense. I just think maybe right now, maybe he is just a little behind. That's could be a problem. But I think he'll maybe catch on as the season starts to go on. There's been players that started slow, and as they get used to the offense, it picks up for them. And I have a feeling for OJ Howard, that will be the case. And I really, truly believe that. And he is a weapon, man. I'm telling you. He is an all-around overall athlete. His size, his speed. He blocks very good. So cutting him, I think it would be a huge mistake, man. I don't
think we're going to cut him.
I don't think so either.
I think he's going to be tight end too.
I
could see us keeping Morris or Sweeney, either one. I really think it's going to be Morris.
I don't think it's Sweeney, bro.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Morris too if we keep a third tight end.
I think they cut Sweeney, and I think Sweeney, I don't think anyone picks him up. I'll be honest.
I think he goes back to the practice squad.
Yep, 100%. I think he's floating around. He goes right back to the PS, man.
Daniel Garza comes in and says good depth chart. I think they keep Kumaro over Hodgins. That one is a go back and forth, flip a coin. The reason why I think they're going to keep Hodgins over Kumaro, and who knows, maybe they flip Crowder and keep both of them. And we talked about that too, is because they have investments in Hodgins. It's a draft pick and time, and you've seen him getting better and better. And those are the type of guys that Bean and McDermott tend to keep. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is Kumaro and Hodgins is released and he's on the New York Giants.
I don't think so. I think we keep. I'm with you, bro. I think they keep Hodgins listen. He's super young still. They were hyped on him since his rookie year. He's battled through injuries. He's finally healthy and he's making plays, man.
And he has 2 more years on his contract.
Yeah, and he's a taller receiver. Kumaro is just like you said, he's more of a special teams type of player. He's not the touchdown Jesus that everyone claims him to be.
He's just not the special teams player that Kumaro is. That's all.
Right, exactly. But I'm saying Kumaro is not the touchdown Jesus. Like he's going to come in and be a flashy offensive player that's not what if he's making the team, it's special teams. That's what he's making the team. If Hodgins makes the team, it's more because we're going to probably wind up using him on goal line situations or he may not see the field like a lot, but he will see the field. You get what I mean? On certain plays, certain downs,
certain packages.
I would love to see him because of his size.
More in the red zone.
In the red zone.
Him and Davis together.
Yes, I would absolutely love him in the red zone. He is a perfect weapon to have in the red zone. One that really we've been missing.
Him, Davis, Knox, and Diggs.
Yes. 100%.
Split. What you do is you run the the 4 wide receivers.
Ali Smith.
And you run the 4 wide receivers and you have Diggs and Knox on one side and you have Davis and Hodgins on one side. Knox and Hodgins are in the slot, and then you bring OJ Howard in as a blocker on the O-line.
Yeah. Lee Smith, by the way, wasn't the best tight end, but he was an unbelievable blocker.
Unbelievable. He was basically the backup left tackle at one point.
Yes. Yeah. So I will give him that. He was a hell of a blocker. He was a tough dude, man. Wasn't the greatest tight end as far as receiving goes, but yeah. Go ahead, Mikey. But
you could also Chewy comes in and says Hodgins has to be more physical on special teams. I agree. But with Morris now making the roster, he could take that Kumaro role on special teams as well.
I agree with that too.
So then we'll keep moving on down to offensive tackles. I have us keeping 4: Dawkins, Brown, Questenberry, and Doyle. I know everyone tends to think Questenberry's probably been starting right tackle, and he may be until Brown's ready. But Questenberry can play 4 positions along the offensive line. I think he's our first off the bench at any of those 4 spots. I think that's ideally what they want to use him for.
Yeah.
So he's going to be like offensive line 6. But then from a guard standpoint, we have Bates, Saffold, and then I have Hart. I had to choose between Hart and Van Rotten because Bakker is on PUP.
Yeah.
Once Bakker comes back, then one of whoever that extra spot is there is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Will be gone. They're just holding the spot until Bakker's ready if he's winning.
Now, are you still on the? Because we talked about this quite a few times. I wish I can get him on here. Joe Marino from Locked On Bills.
Mm-hmm.
He is really thinking that Questenberry's taking Brown's spot, and you are saying hell to the no.
No, it's not.
And I would absolutely love.
It's not that I don't think hell no. I truly believe that they're using Questenberry right now as they're working Brown back off of injury. Everything I've heard McDermott and Bean talk about is they're working him back, right? Questenberry wasn't going to play in any of these preseasons because he's one of the top 6 linemen. He can play all 4 positions. He can play both tackles and both guard spots and play it well.
Right.
He's a better version of Darrell Williams.
But let me ask you this, because really to his point, what he's saying, it's not that he's a better player. He was saying that he is, as of today, what he was saying is he's more up to speed. Meaning,
he has the reps. He has the reps.
He's thinking Brown isn't quite there yet and may not start right away because
he may not. He may not start week 1. It may be Questenberry at week 1, and then if someone goes down, Questenberry kicks in, and then Brown comes in. Ultimately, I think Brown is going to take it over once he's ready. He may not be there week 1. I do agree with Joe on that point. I don't think it's like, okay, he lost his job and Questenberry is going to be the right tackle.
No,
I think he's going to be that way maybe week 1 because Brown's coming back from a back surgery.
I really hope, honestly, Mikey, though, because I have high hopes for Brown. I really like Spencer Brown. I just really hope these nagging injuries that he's had since he's been here, because they are, this is it. Like, and I know you can't predict injuries in the future, but he seems like he is a bigger guy. Obviously, that position you get, and he's very athletic. He's on that side of the field where he likes to run and get hit a lot. I just hope he can. I hope for his future, like he can stay healthy after this back surgery. I just wish he had the back surgery earlier. Like, I don't know what he waited for. Like, I hate that, Mikey. Now,
I don't know if it was one of those things he got hurt while in minicamp.
Right.
And that's what led to it.
Lifting his mini fridge.
Or if it was one of those things where they thought he was good and then he had a setback during minicamp. So they had to go do the surgery to fix it. But I hate when they wait and then they miss camp. Like, you had all off season, dude.
Right.
Get it done right away. So it must have been one of those 2 reasons why, because the Bills are pretty good about getting those guys cleaned up early so they can come back for camp. And
could have been those crappy beds that they gave at St. John Fisher.
Those cots.
And those cots. And now we got a lawsuit.
Right. God. Okay, we'll move on. So then for guards we have Bates, Saffold, and Hart. Obviously, they're just holding. And I went with Hart over Van Rotten. Van Rotten can play 2 positions. Hart technically can play 4. Neither one of them are very good at any of it. However, they're just holding the spot for Bakker until he comes back anyways.
God, trade Crowder for an offensive.
How you doing, Hunter Stack?
Hey, what up? What up? Go Bills, man. Hey, I don't know if you've ever been here, but welcome to the Mafia Sports Report, man.
For center, I have Morrison Mance, and I believe Mance can also play guard too. But I know he's our backup center right now.
I like him, by the way. So play very well.
Yeah. So Bobby Hart may truly just be the 9th guy on the roster.
God.
Break glass in case of emergency. Either one
So
of those guys,
bad.
whatever one that makes it, Van Rotten or Hart's the ninth guy on the roster.
Yeah.
So we have 25 on offense is what I have.
Okay.
And then from defense was a lot easier than it was on offense. On DNs, we have 5: Miller, Rousseau, Epinesa, Basham, Lawson. Pretty standard. We cut Love, Jonathan, and Joseph. All 3 of those guys, or 2 of those 3 of those guys, could end up on the practice squad.
Man, it sucks because I really liked the way Love played in this preseason. I mean, I understand your point about he wasn't doing very good at run, versus the run, but he was dynamic going to, blitzing the quarterback, putting pressure on the quarterback, just his high energy
Against their teamers. Yes, he was.
No, I get it, but I'll tell you what about Mike Love. See, you keep saying that, but I've seen him against second teamers too and play just as high energy. I'm not saying he's going to be, but he's not going to be running. I don't know. I have a feeling he might make the roster. If he doesn't, he could go back to the practice squad.
We're not keeping 6.
I get it.
Who would he take it over?
I don't know. That's that. Yeah, you're right. Boogie.
Shaq Lawson really.
I'll
was
tell you what though.
AJ
Epinesa wasn't like he was super sharp either, but they're not getting rid of AJ.
AJ Epinesa is our DN3. He's the first guy off the bench.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of him, but I still see Love making the practice squad. He's going to be on the team. Maybe not the 53, but I think they like him. He's been on this team, by the way.
He keeps making the practice squad. He's always like the 54th guy on the roster.
Oh, it just sucks, man, because I like his play. I do.
I love his motor. I love his motor. He always goes hard. He's one of those guys that you root for.
By the way, because I know you missed all the conferences today.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Poyer, which we knew, but just to confirm, he's ready to go. He's ready to go week 1. So, good news. If you guys haven't heard already, Jordan Poyer, unless there's any setbacks, knock on wood, he's ready to rock and roll week 1 versus the Rams, which we really needed him back in the lineup. So, as of right now, Mikey, is it safe to say, before we continue, everybody on this roster, except for Trey White, is a go? That's a starter?
That's a starter, yes.
Okay. That's a good sign, especially for the offensive line, except for maybe
Brown. Yeah, I said maybe Brown. Brown might be the only one that's not.
Maybe, and that's iffy. It hasn't been no one said anything yet on that, so we're not going to jump.
But what I like is Questenberry stepped right in with no problems.
Well, he's a vet, dude. He was Curtis over at Ace Per Head. He loves Questenberry, man. He was high on Questenberry when we got him. Man, you would think that's his brother or something. He was talking about.
He's a good ball player.
He is. And he came over with Saffold. They got they know each other. I like it, man. I like it. Hey, thank God for Saffold too, by the way, because rib injuries
didn't he look good in a little bit of time we saw him?
Yeah, and you never know with rib injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how long it takes for those to heal. So thank God. They heal pretty quick.
Brown can't. Chewy comes in and says, "I can see Brown going on the pup." Brown can't go on the pup because he played.
No, he's good to go. Chewy.
Yeah, but I'm saying pup is for those that had the injury before they came into training camp. So like Trey White could technically go on the pup still because he hasn't been active off of it. But if he went on like the pup now, he'd be done for the year. So I could see them bringing him over and then maybe putting him on short-term IR if they didn't feel that he'd be ready in the first 4 weeks. But he was getting playing time in week 4, so they feel like he's fine. He's just knocking the rust off.
Yeah, he's just maybe not up to speed like quite yet. Like Mikey said,
doesn't have enough reps.
Right, exactly. So maybe Questenberry right now is just a little bit ahead of him, and maybe week 2, week 3 that changes. But however, I will say this though: if Questenberry's doing a hell of a job, he could stay in that spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he looks good in the preseason in the little bit of time we saw Questenberry.
Very good. Very good. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And then we went more as a man. So then we went to defense and we went with the 5 DNs. The D tackles, I have 4: Oliver, Jones, Phillips, and Settle. We're going to cut Nku, Bryant, Emili, and Brewer. And honestly, I could see Anko and Bryant both getting looks from other teams. And if they do, Amelie and Brewer are great practice squad guys. If they don't, Anko and Bryant go right to the practice squad and be call-ups in case anything happens.
Yeah. I'm good with that too. I agree with that.
From a linebacker standpoint, I have 5: Edmonds, Milano, Bernard, Dawson, Matakevich, and Spector. Spector with Smith suspended for the first 6 games.
Yep.
Spector takes that spot. I thought he played fantastic.
Bro, he was a surprise for me, man.
Like,
I did not see that coming.
You know who he reminds me of? The way he plays is Matakevich.
Yeah. I think he is a little bit. He's a
little bit better defender, but from a special team standpoint, I have a feeling he's going to be Matakevich's replacement.
He could be. I definitely could see that, but I can also see him being a little bit more, putting game situations too, man. He was a dude. He was all over the field, man, in preseason. Like, he was there. If there was a play by the other team, like wherever the ball was at, it seemed like Spector was around there, like no matter what. So, like, I absolutely love that about him. Like, he's just chasing whoever. He don't care. He's trying to make a play, and I love that.
He plays with his hair on fire. And Ben comes in and says Andre Smith played well too. Andre Smith always plays really well. He's usually one of the core special teams guys, and then like the 4th linebacker. But the problem is Smith is suspended for PEDs for the first 6 games, so we don't have him. So we had to, he'll go straight on. He doesn't count against our 53, and that's why I think Spector comes in and takes that job.
Yep.
Then moving on. Then the one cut we have will be Giles Harris.
Yeah,
who will
100%.
Probably end up on the practice squad.
100%.
And then from a corners, I actually have us keeping 7 corners. I think we went a little bit deeper in corners because we're not sure what's going on with White. I don't think they put him on IR. I don't think they put him on PUP. I think they think he's going to be back early enough to where, they keep him just active and he's not a game day until he's ready. And I was keeping White, Jackson, Teron Johnson, Elam, Benford, Neal, and then Cam Lewis is the White replacement basically on the game day roster because Lewis can play outside, inside, and safety. He's versatile plus special teams.
Well, Saran Neal is all 100% lock, so don't even think about that.
Oh yeah, he didn't play one down in the preseason.
Yeah. I really like McLeod though. I do, but I just I think right now, as we speak today, Cam Lewis is just a notch ahead of McLeod, his play. And I thought Cam Lewis had a pretty good preseason as well. But the guys that shocked me, honestly, like I said, was I thought Kyer Elam played well, but I kind of knew that was going to happen. Even all the talk that was talked about, he's having a bad camp and blah, blah, blah. Listen, he looked fine to me in preseason. He made some mistakes, but Christian Benford, my God, like that was I don't think there's no way when we draft. I mean, I know some people liked it, but there's no way no one thought he was going to play at this kind of a high level right away.
Not for a 6th-round pick.
Correct.
If you look at our secondary, White's a 1st-round pick. Jackson's a 7th-round pick.
I know.
Johnson's a 5th or 6th-round pick. Elam's a 1st. Benford's a 6th. Neal's a 5th. Lewis was an undrafted free agent. Right.
Now you guys see why. Like, even though Cody Ford was a 2nd-round pick, it sucks. We got a 5th for him years later. But look what Brandon Beane does
with those 5th-round
round picks.
Yeah.
These late round. So you're telling me, like, right now, if you turn back the clock on some of these guys, they're 2nd, 3rd round picks.
Well, in our receiver room, we have Diggs was a 5th, Davis was a 4th, McKenzie was a 5th with Denver. Shakir was a 5th.
Yeah.
I don't know what Crowder was. Crowder was a mid-round draft pick too, and then Hodgins was a 6th.
Right.
Kumaro was an undrafted free agent. We don't have
Davis was a 3rd, I believe. Correct.
No, he was a 4th.
4th was Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
4th? Okay, I thought he was 3rd, but okay.
Nope.
I know you're right. Dawson
we took
Knox.
Moss.
It was a year for. Oh, it was Moss. I thought it was Knox.
I think it was Moss and was it Moss and Knox? We traded back up. I thought one of them. But either way, I don't remember what draft that was. But either way, he was.
Moss was a 3rd for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I remember
Because I believe Davis was our 4th that year, Bass was our 5th, and Hodgins was our 6th. That
okay,
year.
okay, but still, either way, I mean, he
Think about that run.
yeah, that I'm telling you, bro. Brandon B, he does very well at the end of these drafts. That's why I love watching day 2 and 3. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Because these guys, look at these guys now. You know, we're talking about.
I mean, the Tenuta one made me scratch my head.
Yeah. Yeah, he ain't making a roster, bro. He's making a practice squad.
Like there was some better offensive linemen on the board too, and he went with Tenuta. I was like, whoa.
I don't get it. That one, I don't. Unless they really see something. Which, hey, man, at this point, I gotta just trust Brandon.
Crowder was a 4th rounder too. Thank you,
okay,
Chewy.
Still, yeah, and that's not early pick, yeah.
Beth, we talked a little bit about punters earlier. Kearns is the one that I would go out and sign. He's 100%. A local guy, all pro bowler. You know, he does everything right. Fantastic holder. Played in bad weather, can punt in bad weather. You know, he plays in that division, so he's used to it. I think ideally he would be the guy that we should bring in.
Yeah. I totally agree. He's a vet. He's still punting very good. Maybe lost a little, but that's okay.
But really, he only lost his job because of his contract. They saved money, and the young kid, and the kid was good.
Yeah, but listen, at the end of the day, like if you have a list here, there's some quality punters out there. So Brett Kern, even if you don't get Kern or Sam Martin from Denver, who's a very good punter. And like I said, last but not least, who I would still pick up over like the Dolphins punter, I would give King an opportunity.
There's a couple other ones out there too. There's a couple others.
Yeah,
like
but
these
are my
vets.
I think I would say those are my top 3.
Yeah, there's
like
4
like a wish list.
Yeah, there's like 4 vets out there that we could look at. Outside of that old Pilates or whatever his name was. I'm not a fan of him. He can't hold worth a crap. Bojo can't hold either. That's the problem.
I know. Just don't bring Bojo back. He can boom, but he can't hold.
So then we release McLeod, Harris, Ingram, Fuller, and Miller. I think McLeod gets picked up again somewhere. I don't think he makes it back to our practice squad.
I don't think so either.
But I don't think Lewis would make it back to our practice squad either. I think he'd get picked up as well because they play really well.
You. Yeah, you got to pick there. You got to just hope for the best.
Yep. And then from safety, Poyer, Hyde, Johnson, and Hamlin are our 4 safeties. Thomas was 100%. Cut today. It is what it is. And then special teams, I have us. And by the way, we have 25 on defense, 25 on offense. And then we have 3 on special teams. Ferguson, Bass, and then what enter punter name here. Which the crazy part is we may not even sign the punter until after the 53 is done, because then we can move like Buck, like if Trey White goes, I mean, they don't feel he's right.
Correct.
They can put him on IR. They could hide Stevenson and then put him on IR and then sign the punter.
Yeah, I agree. So I totally agree. I agree with Mikey, but you don't want to wait too long. But I can see us getting a punter by Wednesday, honestly, Thursday the latest.
I could see us getting a punter on Tuesday,
like right after deadline.
Set. We bring someone on, we put them on IR, we sign the punter.
It could be possible. Or like I said, Wednesday morning. It's not a big, you know what I mean. Either way,
I guarantee you, they're going to get him in place on Tuesday.
Well, they have to get. Yeah, I agree with that too. But they have to get him here no later than I would say Thursday. Yeah, because game time is a week away.
And we need to get him and Bass and
situated.
Ferguson
because listen, every kicker kicks differently, right? So like, Kern may be a good holder, but he doesn't know how Bass wants the ball held. Every kicker wants it held a different way, right? Slightly down, slightly whatever. So they definitely got to get on the same page, and they got a week to do it. So yeah, get them in here now. And I would just put them to the side and have them practice field goals, because whoever you're bringing in, more likely, listen, if he's a vet like Kern, hypothetically, you don't need to have him practice punts. Go over there with Tyler, go over there with Bass, get situated with that part first. I'm good. I know what you do, Kern. You punt the ball very well. Just go over there and know what Bass likes to do, and that's it.
Yeah, no, I'm with
We're
you
good
on
to
that,
go,
bud.
bro. Yeah.
I'm with you on that. But that's the 53 that I have. The hardest one really was I almost put Kumrod in and dropped Morris off and had us carry 7 receivers. I just don't see us doing it, and I just don't believe they want to risk losing Hodgins after the awesome preseason he had. That was my biggest one. Was Hodgins versus Kumro.
That's interesting, man. They could keep 7.
They could.
I'm still borderline, but I understand what you're saying. You got to drop 1 then.
Yeah.
But does 1 go on the pup? You know what I mean? Do they work something out? Do they do a trade? For someone and get somebody off the team. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios that you could play out there. But this is a tough one, man. Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott and company have their hands full here. This is tough. Like, there's some players here that are going to get picked up right away. They're not going to make it back to the practice squad, guys. It's just not
okay. Chewy comes in with an interesting take here and says Spector out, Love in. How do you foresee playing time for Love with five DNs already in the rotation? Like, as it is, they're going to have to make one of those guys game day inactive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see where he falls in line on game day to bring him in.
I like Love too, but I don't like him over Spector, man. Not at this point. Not what I saw.
Because they'll be looking for a special teams guy. Not
correct.
Love did well in special teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, I'm saying Spector.
No. I was.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
he's saying it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was saying it. I don't know.
Yep. We keep him in the locker room meeting Josh. We also have a third quarterback. See, I don't think we're going to have a third quarterback in the room. I think
we are. It's going to be a practice squad quarterback, and it's going to be Barkley.
Right. Practice squad, not 53. There's no way they're keeping 53 3 quarterbacks on the 53.
Yeah.
Barkley will go right to the practice squad, which you think he cares. He's going to get some money to chill out with the practice squad guys. And he's all and to be honest with you, it's good to have him in the back pocket. God forbid, if you have to bring him up, but highly unlikely. He'll probably just chill on the practice squad for the year.
Pim, I don't disagree. I just can't see them bringing. You look at the special teams because also Spector plays really well in special teams, but then you look at it from if you have to break glass in case of emergency, what's more likely, Spector playing at linebacker or Love playing at D end? Because Spector would play in front of Matakevich at linebacker. He'd be linebacker 5 to where Love would be D and 6.
Yeah.
But, hey, we'll find out.
Hey,
I appreciate the comment.
I want to cry over it. I'll be honest, Daniel. Listen, I like Barkley, cool guy, nice guy, whatever, but whatever.
He could, but are they really going to run Barkley and Davis Webb?
I wouldn't fine. We could find a practice squad quarterback somewhere. I would be okay. Trust me. There's plenty of
him and Josh are really, really close. So unless someone offered him a 53-man spot, he's going to stay.
Yeah, you're right. And you're right. He's not going to pick up all stuff up and go.
If they offered him the backup job, then
sure, that's different. Sure. But I think he's in a position where he knows what he knows.
He's also becoming a like a coach type of person within the roster. His family. His wife's really big in the engagement. Chewy, so wrong. Freaking Paul started all that over on hashtag too. Mikey's love for Bobby Hart. I say one time that don't be surprised if Bobby Hart makes the roster, and it's never gone away.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? There's a good chance he makes the roster again. So,
which is unbelievable. Unreal, Mikey. So is that it for the roster? Is that what you got? Is that official?
Yep, that's my official.
So, question to you, Mikey, too, on that on the special teams. I think we touched base on this last week, but I'll ask you again: the kick returner spot and the punt returner.
Yeah.
So punt returner, you got that locked in, correct? You right now.
I do. Shakir's going to be our punt returner, and McKenzie's going to be our kickoff returner.
Okay. So. I agree with that, by the way. I think McKenzie earned that trust
Christian
back.
Wade.
I still go back to that. I really wish they did give Christian Wade an opportunity. It's too late now for kick returner, but I think, man, if they would have just started from the beginning, just had him kick return, like even in the practice, on practice squad, and give him a chance of preseason, but they, I don't know what was going on there. But either way, I think McKenzie earned the trust back from McDermott to be a kick returner again. And I think Khalil Shakir just earned the trust in general that
he's not flashy back there.
No, but he's safe and he's
safe
smart.
and solid.
Yes, he's smart. Like he knows where to field the ball correctly. He has great hands. Right. He's not going to do anything.
He will get you 3, 4, 5, 6 yards of returning. He's not going to make a boneheaded play. Man, I love Blackshear too, Chewy. But Tywan Jones is one of the elite gunners in the NFL. Sean McDermott is not going to have a veteran not suit up the entire preseason and then cut him for an undrafted rookie. It's just not going to happen. Did we lose Tommy? We might have lost Tommy. Oh, his power is out. Oh, no. That's not good. Because I don't even have controls. So, looking here, this is the 53 as well. I can't pull it down. I can't do anything. Tommy was the host. So we'll just go through. What kind of questions do you guys got out there? And let me tell them, I can't close the show. All right. So, what other questions you guys got out there outside of the punter, which we know we'll be looking at probably after the 53 is released? Do you guys have anything out there that you guys want to know about? Prospects to look for in college in week 1. Oh, man, it's way too early for college for me. I'll be looking at that. Yes, Daniel, I'm stuck here forever. I have no way to do anything. I have no control. Hopefully Tommy can get justice and he can come in and help out. But Tommy has no power. There's a bad storm in Detroit. Okay, looks like his power just popped back on. Tommy's going to try to make it back in. But, yes, it's forever the Mikey show. Almost like the Truman Show, right? That's what it's going to be. Score for our first game. Oh, that's a great one. I truly believe it's going to be something along the lines of 31-17, 35-24, something along those lines. Bills fan 1970. That's funny. Which guys do I think make the practice squad? Oh, that's a great question, Daniel. Practice squad, I think it's going to be Barkley. If Blackshear clears waivers, I have a feeling Blackshear is going to make it. Kumaro, Stevenson, if they clear. Although I don't know if Kumaro will actually clear waivers. Sweeney, Tenuto's a draft pick. Anderson, I thought, played really well this preseason. Van Rotten could make the practice squad. And then I love Jonathan and Mike Love will probably both make the practice squad. Enku and Bryant would if they don't get claimed. If they do get claimed, Amelie and Brewer are great practice squad guys. Giles Harris, a practice squad guy. I have a feeling McLeod's going to get claimed. But if he doesn't, he would be a practice squad guy. Otherwise, you can pick, Ingram is a undrafted UB guy. I can see him doing it. And then Thomas, I can see him coming back to the practice squad. It's going to be a fun year. I'll be interested to see how they fill out their practice squad because there's a lot of guys who've been released also out of other teams that they could pick up and put on the practice squad. Chewy says, does Vaughn get a sack? I believe he does get a sack. Daniel Garis, do you think Barkley could go to the Giants? Tyrod hurt. Could he go? Yes. The only way I believe even though I think he's going to be a practice squad guy for the Bills, the only way I think he leaves Buffalo is if he's offered a 53-man job. I'll be interested to see what other quarterbacks are out there and how bad Tyrod is hurt. Do we know how bad the injury is? Is he going to be out a long term? Or is it just a short-term thing? Because I think that's all going to play in as well. Because if Barkley takes a 2-week assignment there and then gets released, and the Bills bring in another backup quarterback. Barkley doesn't come back. Just like last year. Barkley went off to the Titans, played there for a few weeks, and then was released and went to a couple other places and was on the practice squad there. If he wants to stay with the Bills, it's going to be through a practice squad. But yeah, I'd be interested to know how long Tyrod's going to be hurt for. Like, I saw it. It looked nasty. That dude just crushed him. That poor guy has the worst luck ever. Like, when he was, he did fine with the Bills. He broke our streak. We drafted Allen. Obviously, it was time for him to go. But then he went to Cleveland and got hurt. And then Baker came in. Then he went to the Texans and got hurt. Then he went to the Chargers and the doctor punctured his lung. It's just crazy. Beth comes in and says Zack Moss trade rumors, true or false? Of true, who, for what? I think they're false. I truly believe. I cannot see why we would trade Zack Moss at all. To this point, he has another year on his deal after this. Singletary's in his last season of his deal. There's a chance we'd lose him after this year. And do we really want to have a second year James Cook with a rookie, or do you want to have a second year James Cook with a rookie and Zack Moss? Because Zach knows the offense. He looked really good this preseason. If he does get traded, I don't think it'd be for a who. I think it'd be for a what. I think it'd be a draft pick coming back, and I think it would be a late round draft pick, probably around like a Cody Ford, like a 5th round pick. Joe comes in and says, besides punter, what are our needs after the cuts tomorrow? Extra DBs, O-line. I would love to see us go out and grab another guard. I am not comfortable with Bobby Hart as our 9th offensive lineman. I realize that Bacher, he's just holding the spot until Bacher's done and comes back. But I would love to see us pick up a better backup offensive lineman depth-wise, although there's not a ton of them out there. Same thing here. Does make a lot of sense, but there's a ton of rumors. There are a ton of rumors. There's been rumors about Zack Moss being moved for months. Ever since we picked up Cook, there's been talk about him being moved. Daniel Gars comes in and says, I really doubt they would trade Moss. And my opinion, he makes a bet. He makes the roster, and he has 2 years left on a third round contract, affordable. I agree. Like, it makes too much sense from a rock. Bean talks about it all the time about how he needs to find that cheap labor to fill out this roster as he gets deeper and deeper into this build. Zack Moss is a valuable commodity from a rookie contract standpoint. He would have to get something significant to move him. I can't see him just randomly moving him. Okay, well, crap. Tommy's not coming back on. So I'm not exactly sure what the plan is here, guys. I'll stay here until you guys are done asking me questions, and then I guess I'll just turn off my camera and let it be until they figure out how to close down the show. Yes, Beth, he comes back in, and he's healthy this year, and he hasn't been. He looked like if you guys remember his rookie year, he was stealing carries from Singletary at the end of the year, and then he hurt his ankle really bad, and last year he just was never healthy. He looks like that rookie year Zack Moss, which is crazy. It's a good problem to have. Plus, Motor gets hurt. Moss steps into that role seamlessly, leaving Cook as the third. Yeah. Thanks, Chewy. Appreciate you, bud. Let me see if I can get a hold of Justice. I can't even find his number in here. Alrighty. Yeah, we do. Beth, you're right. We do have a lot of good problems to have because there's a lot of them here. If you think about it, we have to choose between extra wide receiver. Is it going to be Hodgins or going to be Kumaro? Do we keep 3 tight ends? Do I see any surprise cuts across the league? Oh, that's a great question. Crap, I don't know. That I haven't followed the league close enough, Daniel, to really know what each of the teams are doing out there. Okay, so we'll see if anybody pops on to close the show for me. But thanks, Daniel. I appreciate you. Guys riding with us and all the help to get to 2K. Me and Tommy are having fun doing this. It's been about a year for me. Tommy's been doing it for about a year longer than I have, and it's just been so much fun. It makes it fun to come in here and just talk Bills with a bunch of other Bills fans. It's awesome, and we appreciate you guys riding with us. There's a lot of content creators you guys can watch. Tommy, yeah, buddy, where you at? Okay. I don't know what they're doing, so we'll have to figure that out. Anyways, any other questions since I'm just sitting here waiting for someone to come on in and help me out? Yeah, Tommy, that sucks that your power went out, buddy. Tell Tommy to start paying his electric bill. Right? Right? I remember he used to give me a bunch of crap about that, about my internet. At least I had power. My internet was just crappy. All right, guys. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and close this out from here. I'm gonna shut off the mic and the camera, and we'll figure out how to close this thing down. We appreciate everything you guys do. Tomorrow is the cut down day. Obviously, 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have to be down to our 53. I imagine Tommy will probably have something out there on Twitter and something within Mafia Sports Report talking about it. And then this Friday, Friday Night Lights. Come back, talk with us about it. We'll see what we got for punter and start answering some more questions. Other than that, I can't even play an outro. So have a good night and go Bills.
You.
Hey, what's going on, Mookie?
What's going on?
Not much. Tommy's power went out and he was driving, and I have no way to close the show.
I guess we need a backup quarterback. Yeah,
Right?
Backup quarterback, get in. Well,
do you have access to close this thing? I think everyone pretty much left by now.
nah. I mean, we can just sign off. You know what I mean? People still tuning in?
I don't think so. I think people are gone now.
I got you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.